Welcome back to Rivals on the Pitch podcast. We are here back again to discuss Matchweek 6. We're also going to dive into Matchweek 7. Eric Ten Hag in, Eric Ten Hag out debate. Ten Hag in here, so no surprises.
Keep him in.
And then we'll dive into the mini league and some predictions. It should be fun. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Pat.
I'm Alan.
And I'm Randy.
Oh, look at that. Perfectly timed. So let's start with the first game. Liverpool. There was a lot of, well, maybe not for Alan, but there was a lot of tough games out there. I think it's already getting to the point where these bottom 10 teams are getting a little harder to play.
It's good to win away, but if we did have a little scare with Wolves, they're still winless, which is good for us, but they did put up a good fight. They gave us a couple scares, but Liverpool just showing their that they're mentality giants and just winning the match, finding ways to win, which was...
Wait a minute. Mentality giants, Konate basically gave away a goal.
Whatever.
I think he was man of the match for both teams.
Well, we can say the same thing with with Mike Oliver.
Yeah.
You want to start, we can start, but you can start from the top, which Liverpool is on the top if you haven't looked by any chance.
That is true. Can't argue that one. But I don't know. How do you feel so far? I saw Slot mention that he hasn't played any of the top teams yet. How do you feel going into what is your first big six game?
The thing I have to say is, yes, we haven't faced anyone from the top, the top six, but that's not to say that we haven't faced a competition. We went to AC. We went in the Champions League to AC Milan, so we do have a little bit of experience facing a top team this season, playing away at AC Milan. So that somewhat counts. But speaking in the Premier League, just seeing that we've been competitive and winning, except for Nottingham Forest at home. We've shown promise. We've shown that we're not in that transition stage from Manchester United when Fergie left, and then you had all these bunches of coaches, how they have a little downfall and then they rise up again. I like that we have just stayed consistent. There wasn't a drop, and we're still at the level that we were at when Jurgen left.
Do you think you still feel confident when you face a top team, or do you think you're still feeling the same as you going into that Wolves Liverpool match, or are you oh shoot, I gotta play a mega team, the mega Tottenham team? You feeling nervous?
I thought we were talking about the top teams. When did Spurs become a top team?
The toppest.
Honestly, I think we have a team that's full of experience that's already been there, and I don't think there's much to worry about. People can say about Manchester United was a top team. It depends on who you want to talk to. This season, I wouldn't count them as a top team, but I do believe that we have people with experience who's been there, done that, and I don't think it should be anything to be feared or worried about.
October 20th, you have Chelsea. Following that, you have Arsenal.
I know, we have a hard stretch.
Brighton, and then Aston Villa. So four decent games. How many points are you taking out of that?
One should be confident and says we're getting all 3 points from out every game. What is it? You mentioned 4 games. I could think of maybe 2 wins and 2 draws.
So you got Chelsea, Liverpool, Brighton, Villa. Who are you getting those wins against?
We're playing Chelsea at home, so I believe we should be able to beat Chelsea. We're playing Arsenal away at the Emirates, so I feel confident that maybe we can get a draw out of it. Brighton, Liverpool should be able to win. And what was the last game you mentioned?
Villa at Anfield.
I believe we should be able to win at home against Aston Villa. I think we do have depth. I think we have great, good players. I believe that we should be able to be competitive during all that stretch of games.
And it gets pretty tough going into November. So you start off November, obviously, with Brighton, midweek game against Bayer Leverkusen. You take Villa at home, Southampton at center break, but then end of November, you have Madrid, then City, Newcastle, and then Everton. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
It is gonna be tough, but I'd
you gotta test the slot.
Yeah,
we're gonna see. But it's like I said, we've had people that been there already. We have good. I believe we have great depth. We have good backup goalkeeper in Kelleher. We have. Like I told you guys, I believe we have some of the best starting. We have the best strikers on the bench as well. So you can take Darwin, switch him for Jota, or Chiesa for Salah, Diaz for Gapco, whatever. I believe we have a good rotation. Our midfielder, I believe, is filled with good depth as well. You got nice experience. You got Endo, Curtis Jones, who should be healthy now, and seeing him how he played against West Ham in the League Cup, he was well. He played well. Our defense, we're good in that aspect as well. I believe we have good depth to be competitive and at least gain points in this tough stretch of matches. We only can hope that we can be injury free, but
he go downhill real quick.
Yeah,
because depth is good to cover injuries, but once you suffer an injury to that top layer, then it's the bare minimum until you can get somebody back. And so, do you think you'd still be top of the league by after this Man City game here, December 1st?
I haven't looked at everyone else's schedule, but I believe that maybe we could still be hopefully first, but I believe we could be like in second or third place. It's a tough stretch. I think we might drop some points, like get a draw, and that might come to bite us. But I believe we should still be close to the top, honestly.
I mean, this is the hardest. Chelsea's, I think, is the hardest team you've faced so far.
Yeah, we'll be.
I feel like that team's finally going to get tested.
They're in form, I would say.
Or Chelsea or Liverpool is in form?
Chelsea.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. They're a tough team. And looking at the schedule so far, I think they're the best team you'll be facing, to date.
The first real test.
Yeah,
the first real test. The first real Premier League test. The good thing is we're playing home, but still, as you saw against Nottingham Forest, Anfield isn't the same fortress as it used to be.
So I'm wondering how Slot is going to adapt to that, how he, what's his game plan? And if you start hitting bumps in the road, like how's he going to try to change it? What's his, backup plan? And how's that going to work out? Not trying to wish you the worst. I mean, I hope so, but
yeah,
I think it's a test for, obviously the players can do it, they're proven to do it, but can Slot, it's a new philosophy. It's a new, he has probably a new strategy. How is that going to affect them, changing the style of play against these harder teams?
I don't remember if you might have seen the post interview of him explaining how he was able to beat, I believe, Man United, like the way he talks strategy and how he sees the game, make the necessary changes. I believe he should be able to make the necessary changes to solve the problem and at least, fix it at that moment to make us at least hopefully get a win or a draw. The way he speaks, I believe it's just like fascinating how he picks up these things and describes everything. But then again, you can only explain that to your players, and if the players actually do what needs to be done, it's a different story. But it should be interesting, honestly. It is a little scary, especially when you see all those teams that you're going to be facing. You're just hoping for points, honestly. You can't afford to lose, especially when you have these teams coming up. Arsenal's on your back, Manchester City, and I believe that's it for now. Aston Villa, maybe, but I can't think of any other teams. Maybe Alan might say differently. But
did you clip that audio?
I think come December, you might be fifth.
Did you clip the audio?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna clip it right now.
Oh, right, please. You're gonna have to use it next season because I don't think we're losing the Spurs.
Okay.
Clip it.
Yeah, you're gonna be dragging December 21st. Mark it on your calendar.
I might be away when that we do that podcast, right, episode, but we'll see.
I'll give you the number to my dentist if you want.
Heard. I like that.
All right, so Nottingham Forest finally taking their first loss of the season. This is a team I think I predicted Forest to go down.
I believe so. Me as well.
Well, they beat Liverpool.
Yeah, but that was before I decided, when we did our relegation predictions.
He said it doesn't count.
It's a redo.
Uno card, reverse.
Speaking of cards, a lot of yellows here in the second half. Lots of subs. But Fulham come out on top. Raul Jimenez, back from the dead.
I think I bet Wolves are missing him.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why he left. I guess Fulham was on the up, and they did get rid of
What, the Serbian Mitrovic?
Mitrovic. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a great striker.
He went to Saudi, no?
Yeah, but Saudi money.
But yeah,
I think they found a good replacement. Someone
They
with
did.
Premier League experience, and it's showing. Fulham have been competitive.
They have been, and
Yeah, they've
took down.
been quietly doing pretty good. They might be Liverpool.
Quietly. Oh, we'll see. I think anyone can beat Spurs.
Not Man U.
I can't wait to see Arsenal versus Arsenal 2, aka Fulham.
Basically, but yeah, I mean, good on Fulham, and finally showing.
And to do it away as well.
Yeah,
That's off.
all right. Everton, Crystal Palace, Everton with finally some points on the board.
Guess who didn't score first? Maybe that's the key. Maybe if they don't score first, Everton can hold on to the lead.
But I feel like Everton's lucky number is 2 because that's
They figured it
maybe
out.
the secret is they got to score second.
Yeah,
they gotta be behind to
this
score.
is the real Uno reverse card.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace couldn't hold it on to that lead.
But I mean, so one of these two had to get a win. They were both of the winless teams, or it could have been a draw, and they still wouldn't have not had a win. But at least Everton, they were playing well all these past games, and to finally get what's deserved, a win finally for them.
McNeil, man, some great goals this season. He's scored some really nice goals so far.
Yeah, he has.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes next season somewhere else. I could see him like at a West Ham or
at a Villa or
Yeah, nobody wants to stay at Everton if it's this kind of show.
if Villa stay in Champions League.
or Newcastle.
Yeah, if Villa stay, I think they could grab a couple more because Unai Emery, he's good at getting these talents. Obviously, Onana was clearly a good player, but
the thing too is I think Aston Villa is spending a little more money now with Emery at the helm.
oh, they have it though. They're gonna have that Champions League money for next season. That top four is getting crammed. Who will be left out?
Gonna have to open another slot for Confederation Cup.
We're gonna. I think Christmas time we should revisit our top 6 predictions.
I was thinking about this segment we should do called
Yeah.
the Time Machine.
Okay.
And then if Randy's regretting his,
TM.
top, bottom 3 teams, he might be able to readjust that,
And that gives Pat the time to change his Newcastle as the number 1 shirt.
Yeah. No, that's permanent.
That's in stone.
Yeah, that's set in stone. I did like that teal green retro
The retro kit. Yeah. It's
stuff
nice.
they came out with. That was a nice line. But yeah, I think we should. I think revisit, halfway through the season, revisit. Because I think the table from now to December,
It's going to be totally different than what we thought.
It's going to be different from today. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of teams are getting healthier, getting in form.
The teams that you didn't expect to be on the bottom are shocker.
Yeah. Hopefully it starts getting better because it makes for a good season.
Speaking of shocker, well, not really. Like I said, I think Chelsea's starting to look like they're an informed team, but they finally also took down the undefeated Brighton and stay humble, eh?
Yeah.
I feel like Brighton's been on the bit of a decline.
But they were undefeated up until this season. That their manager was doing pretty well. They took points off of Arsenal at the Emirates. But you mean like overall from season to season?
No, from sort of this season to now, I feel like they were winning games pretty convincingly. I think they ended up with a lot of draws these last few games.
But
I think
they have new players as well.
Draw, lose, loss. Right. They're probably hitting their little rough patch. But Chelsea, I think we might have underestimated them a little bit. I think
they were in my top 4.
Really?
I think so.
They are, or
no, I think it was like
they are now, or they were
something like that.
Yeah, you actually. I think I have my notes still here.
But all I can think about is that Cole Palmer video where they're telling him to put up 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3, and then he's like, "What about 4?" And then boom,
what?
4 goals.
What?
Cole Palmer.
Don't know.
4 goals.
Don't know. Cole Palmer.
Don't know.
And people that were making fun of, like Nicholas Jackson, showing up with an assist, and Jordan Sancho, the Manchester United reject, making Eric Hagen look even more of a joke.
Any post that talked bad about Eric, he liked it.
Yeah.
Really?
It's like when everyone was talking about when people left, like Bale and Modric, when they left Spurs, how they won and they were doing much better. Now look at Jordan Sancho. He left. He's doing way better.
I don't think Bale did that much better. Nor Modric.
Whoa.
It's just Champions League, Champions League.
But yeah, Cole Palmer. Okay, so Cole Palmer, does he get in either of your squads?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah,
maybe for Spurs, you take him over Solanke. I bet for sure.
I would play midfield.
Well, what kind of position does he play? Does he play on like the right wing, or he kind of just plays any? But
I think he has free range.
Midfielder. I think at the moment at Arsenal, I don't think he would bench Odegaard, but since he's injured, he would definitely be in there. But does he take over for Maddison?
Maybe.
I
definitely not with Maddison and Kulusevski in the midfield. I think
Cole Palmer's getting you goals compared to what Maddison is.
He is, but does he fit the Ange system? You know.
But if you let Cole Palmer do the free range thing, let him run around.
Yeah, I think on the wings he would definitely. I think he would.
He's a good passer too. I mean, you've seen some of the assists he made.
That one goal. I mean, that one assist,
almost assist.
Was wow. Yeah. Made it look so easy, nonchalant, just up in the air, perfect pass.
So he wouldn't make it onto Liverpool?
I honestly don't think so. Maybe he can be a role player, bench player, but I don't see him starting lineup.
I think he would. I think he does. I think.
And Arsenal, no.
I said I don't think he benches Odegaard. But Odegaard's injured, so I think he starts over probably Trossard, and I think on the wings, I think he might start over Martinelli. The thing is that Martinelli is such a specific type of player. He's very pacey and he takes on players.
But that's all he's done so far.
Well, that's his thing. I mean, I'm not going to blame him for if that's your forte. You know what I mean?
Then I can't accept you willing to bench Maddison for him. Because he fits our system. He might not be a better overall player, but he fits what we want to do.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I just think he's got a good pass in him. So I just feel like he would suit your style of play, considering you have basically 5 attackers at once. You know what I mean? If you consider the wingbacks,
I think he would fit our system more than we'll see. I don't know. I guess I gotta just watch him much more of. I gotta stop watching his memes and start watching his game film.
Well, they play Liverpool soon, so you can watch that.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what he does to McAllister.
We'll address this question. And then we'll see what Randy's prediction of these next 4 games looks like.
Oh, man.
Randy's own mini league.
Remember your place. You're in 3rd place, all right?
Who's in 3rd? Me? I didn't say anything.
No, I'm talking to Alan. Alan's in 3rd place in the mini league, and I don't look that far down the table as well.
Oh, in the mini league. Okay.
Don't worry about it. We're moving on up.
Alan's like top 3, baby.
Top 3. Top 3 from what? You got a long way to go still.
Brentford once again with the first minute goal, kickoff glitch once again. Obviously, they were not able to hold on to it. 1-1, West Ham, Brentford. Brentford, they just look like they can't finish him out, but they got a good strategy to at least get on the front foot, because this could have ended 0-1, you know?
But you score first. It's great and all, but then, it's kind of like Everton. You can't maintain that lead. Like, do you readjust or do you keep moving forward with this, hoping that you're able to close it out?
The good thing is they can score, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But like you said, they just have to protect the lead. Hopefully they can get another goal, make it 2, so it's a little more cushion for them, but they showed that they can score against the top teams, and that's great.
You just called us the top team.
The draw is still points.
He just called us the top team. Clip it.
Oh, you're having a little scrapbook there. But it's sad that you're never going to use it.
What's next?
Oh.
Okay. Arsenal, Leicester. Man, this game was...
I was rooting for Leicester.
I know you were.
Gosh.
Pat, what was your prediction for this one?
I said 3-0.
And you felt confident. Leicester, you felt confident about it during the first half. During the first half.
During the first half, absolutely. We had all the possession, 2 goals, but like you've said on this podcast before, 2-0 is the most dangerous score, and come out in the second half early goal for Leicester, and after that, we just looked a little out of sorts, a little too relaxed. The second goal by James Justin, who, he
Which
scored
is
the
what
first
goal
for
of the
us as well.
goal of the week, maybe season.
That goal was incredible. I think I'm not going to take anything away from the goal, but I will say once again, Calafiori wasn't there covering his man. He's playing left back and the right back. I guess technically maybe Martinelli too, because no one's covering the right back. He's a right back for Leicester, and no one's covering. The ball comes right to him, and he hits it so sweet. Nice curve away from the keeper. It's the post and in. Yeah, if I had to vote for a goal of the match week, this would have been it. And yeah, I mean, obviously, it was getting a little sweaty there. We looked like we were creating chances. It just had to go in, and a corner is a penalty for Arsenal right now. But we got it in, and then right before the end, Havertz gets one more lucky one. Gets reviewed by VAR, but obviously he was onside, so he gets the goal. I think at the end of the day, that the score doesn't give you the whole picture because it was 2-2 at 90 minutes. I think maybe like 3-2 would have been a more fair depiction of what actually happened. But
Yeah,
at the end, 4-2 looks much better on paper, so I'll take it.
it helps with the goal difference.
Exactly, and it's good to show that you can kind of fight back. And like I said, it's a win. I'll take it. First half and second half, completely contrasting displays by Arsenal, and that worries me a little bit. I did see the Champions League game today. I saw Mikel Merino coming on debut for Arsenal, so I'm hoping having that little more depth can give Arteta more options to kind of control the game once we're up in any other game. Obviously, once you have a couple goals, and you can control the pace of the game a little bit more. So,
Do you put him as a starter, or do you have him coming off the bench? I mean, since Odegaard is out right now.
I don't. I mean, today he played alongside Rice, taking over for Partey. Obviously, Partey last year he spent a lot of the season injured, but he was so crucial to Arsenal's game plan. Seeing him come on from Partey, I think I'm going to see him probably starting a few games just to give Partey some rest. I just don't. I thought he was going to be someone to kind of rotate Rice with, but I guess it might be more like Partey's replacement. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't think he starts right away. Maybe come January, might have to. We'll see how he looks. You know what I mean? He might bench somebody. Who knows?
How good is his defense?
We got a defense that scores and can hold out. Obviously, like I said, it got a little shaky, but we were playing without Ben White for one of the first times in the season. Jurrien Timber, who has been playing left back all season, had to play a right back. Calafiori's second start in the Premier League for Arsenal. So I think there's just like a lot of moving parts. But yeah, I mean, I'm still confident in especially today with the PSG game. I felt comfortable in but I think sometimes, I think the midfield needs a little more solidifying since without Odegaard, we're not holding onto the ball as much as we were last season. Yeah, I know you guys love to hate,
We'll see. I was ready to throw it in your face. I was ready to revoke your bragging rights.
I know. I was Googling how to deactivate Instagram.
How to change my identity.
Yeah.
You're going to schedule another dentist appointment just to get out of it.
I know. I almost went back in.
With Mourinho, can he play defense? How deep can he play defense? How maybe you guys could put 12 people in the box. Or 13.
Oh, please. One game with 10 men. You guys played defensive football for how many years? Mourinho, Conte? Come on.
It was the worst time of my life. I hated it. So I know what that feels like. No, but we'll see. Yeah, because you guys did play a little defensive against us, and I thought it was just me overreacting.
No, you were overreacting.
Nah, I think we just couldn't hold on to the ball much. Like I said, Odegaard kind of... Like I said, once we get into that attacking third, it's like we give it away so cheaply that Trossard's been filling a little bit more. He started for Odegaard the past 3 games, and he's starting to get into that role a little bit more. So hopefully we improve from there. But
do you think that might be a January transfer window buy? Find a replacement just in case Odegaard, someone on the bench just in case. Because like you said, you don't have anyone to do his role while he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, we have the youngster, Waneri, just turned 18. I'm hoping to see more time from him. I have a feeling that if we're in good shape, either first or second by Christmas, I think Arteta's going to hold out and just save the money up for the summer. But yeah, no, I have a feeling they're gonna try to hold off. Who knows? Maybe Ivan Toney regrets his move.
It's a thin squad.
It is. And we sent some players out on loan. Like obviously, we got Sterling, so sending Reece Nelson out, who was a wing player. I think that's fine. But like I said, with Odegaard, we really had no one, and we sent Fabio Vieira and out on loan, Emil Smith Rowe out on a permanent. So it was just an odd move if you're not going to be playing that 18-year-old that you're kind of banking on. So it just didn't make sense to me. But I just think if we can hold out and be in a good position by December, then they'll probably just keep the same squad.
And what's the timetable looking for Odegaard to come back?
I think we'll probably see him in November. I think they said after, not this international break, but after the next one. So yeah, so I have a feeling we might not see him till December, honestly. So it's going to be a long 2 months. But you know how it is. It takes, even once they're like 100% fit, you kind of have to like, give them like 6 minutes, and then you go into 10, 20. So it might be a while.
Okay, something to look out for.
Yeah. I know Alan's smiling right now.
I am. I'm ready. I got hiccups, but so I've been on mute. But I got hiccups because I'm so excited.
I was excited about this scoreline.
Yeah, it's funny because you're excited about this scoreline. It's kind of like what we were talking about last week, where it's like it's a 1-1. 1 point. Man City drops points, tightens up that race on top of the league. So
yeah. Like I said, I know it's so early, but even this early on, you're like a point, 2 points is so crucial. And at this point, I mean, when you're battling at the top, especially the top 4 positions, a draw almost seems like a loss.
Especially when you're supposed to. Most of them think that Manchester City are just supposed to win every game, regardless if you're home or away. It does feel like a loss for them.
It does feel like a loss, especially after coming from that. I don't know. I just felt like they were so worried about the after drama of the Arsenal game. I don't know. They just didn't look great, and there's a lot of frustration. Newcastle was very good at
disrupting them,
keeping them from doing their thing. Yeah, but that's what they do best right now.
Yeah, especially at St. James.
So you're thinking they're missing Rodri?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they do miss Rodri.
Yeah, but I'm glad this is happening because I feel like it is, the 115 charges, allegations and the courts and the whole mess with the Arsenal game last week and now this. And I'm sure there's something piling up. I'm sure there's some frustration and there's something, happening in this club. And I don't know. Like I'm glad it didn't come back and wipe the floor with Newcastle, and they came out with a draw. So it's like, oh wow, they're human. They bleed.
Yeah, it does make it seem interesting compared to just thinking of like Bear, like they're always winning. So it's like, why bother watching? It's always just going to be another Manchester City champion. This makes it a little more interesting because they're showing, like you said, they're showing that they're human. They're not that invincible team. So now it's a little open. You got Liverpool at top, Man City, Arsenal, and Aston Villa right behind. So it's showing that it's going to be a little more
competitive.
It's going to be a little more of a show. It's not just going to be Manchester City winning the league with like 9 points.
Yep. So last 2 teams to remain undefeated. Obviously, it is early, but who takes the first loss? Arsenal or Manchester City?
Arsenal.
Who do they play next? Let's see.
Do you want me to read your fixtures?
I think next week. Don't you guys play like Southampton next week?
So watch you guys lose to Southampton.
Actually, to be honest, don't play because every time we play a previous Arsenal keeper, it's like they become the best goalkeeper in the world.
They just rub it in your face. You should have never sold me. But Manchester City is Fulham, Wolves.
So they take on Fulham, then Wolves, then Southampton, then Bournemouth. Oh my God, they have the easiest schedule ever. Brighton. So Arsenal take on. So we take on Southampton, then Bournemouth, then Liverpool, then Newcastle.
I think Arsenal is going to get the first loss.
To who? To Liverpool or Newcastle?
Southampton. Southampton's going to get their first win against Arsenal.
And Southampton's yet to...
Yeah, exactly.
Yet to win.
And they'll do it against Arsenal. If Leicester almost pulled it out, Southampton will finish the job.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, so now moving on to the Sunday games. Ipswich with the shocker. 2-2 Ipswich, Aston Villa, full time. Early goal from Ipswich, and then followed up by 2 from Aston Villa, and then they draw it up at the 72nd minute.
Didn't expect this, honestly.
No Duran getting the game winner. It's crazy. What's going on?
Yeah, Watkins man of the match too. So I guess he gets to keep his spot for now.
This is good too because this is a good draw for us because it's kind of keeping Villa their little hot streak, cooling them down a little bit. Ipswich, I feel like Ipswich it's right there between maintaining their spot in the league, but I don't think they're doing enough to at the end of the season to actually stay in.
No, I think they're going to frustrate a few teams, but I don't think they're going to get out of from the bottom.
Yeah, I think so too. Kind of like this, these draws or a win, but
they've done it at home. That's their safe place right now. They can get any points they can get at home will be great, but I just don't see them winning away.
Yeah, I think Ed Sheeran's going to have to write another album about this one because it's going to be a sad one.
When your legs don't work like they used to before.
Speaking of sad one.
Oh, man. Tottenham once again with the sketchy VAR calls. Everything goes their way.
Okay, Golden Boys. Both of you guys seem the Golden Boys of the league. No, we can never win. We can never win.
Well, you can always win with the refs always on your side. You know what I mean? So it's fine. So I think we can all agree that Man United probably would have either tied or won this hadn't it been for the ridiculous red card.
They
would have won?
Which was now canceled out.
United would have won?
Controversy.
Yeah.
Would have won the worst team in the league.
So, 3-0 Spurs away to Manchester United. So, obviously, now Spurs and Liverpool have more goals
than Manchester United at Old Trafford.
Yep. So, embarrassing stat. I'm sure, obviously, it's just a grabby title, but it is factual, right?
Yeah, it is facts, and that sucks. Home court advantage.
Old Trafford,
and you can't win at home. Then where are you going to win? You can't win at home. You can't win anywhere, man.
Championship?
Maybe against no, they can't even win against 12. Or was it 20?
Yeah,
So I saw that they also mentioned on NBC Sports, Manchester United is the only team out of the quote Big Six unquote to not register double digits yet.
They have the second fewest goals scored in the league, I think, if not the fewest. You bought your players. You created your own team. What are you doing with it? You've been supported. You've been backed. You've gotten the time.
Jeez, I didn't realize they were so far down. I was like, okay, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, their goal differential is currently -3.
But their goals for is 5. You got Ipswich, Crystal Palace tied with them. Southampton has fewer than them. Southampton's the only team that has fewer goals than them.
And they are 7 points out of 6 games. I think they said this was a joint worst start with themselves, I think. And this is all still post
Fergie.
Post Fergie, yeah. Not looking good. Does Eric Ten Hag make it till Christmas?
I think he'll make it.
I think he gets to spend it with his family because he ain't going to spend it with these players.
I think he gets up until Christmas, and I think they're going to reassess where they are at that point.
I just don't think they have, like Randy said, I just don't think they have anybody who's willing to pick this up right now. Yeah,
but they got Ruud van Nistelrooy to come in as his assistant coach. There has to be logic behind that because they don't support. They need a stopgap. They like Ole when he was second in command and he took over as a caretaker for Manchester United. That's my idea, is that they brought in Ruud van Nistelrooy to come back to be a caretaker because I don't think they see Erik ten Hag as the long term. I think this season, Christmas, he is done. Ruud van Nistelrooy comes in. He's a Manchester United player. He knows what it is to be a Manchester United player, what the fans deserve, and I feel he was going to take over until they find a suitable replacement, or depends how he does during the other half of the season. But I just don't see Erik ten Hag staying. He's had plenty of time, so much money, and you're mediocre at best.
Mediocre is nice.
Every time, every excuse he says, like the when he was talking about the players know this isn't what we deserve. This isn't I deserve perfection. This isn't the standards. That's all. They know that. They know that. There's no solution to it. That's all he says. He's very bland. He's very secretive with how he words things. The problem is you. Everyone says it. Neville, when they're on Sky Sports, Scholes, all these players, all these ex-players are just at the point that it's like there has to be a changing coach.
But he's got the most trophies behind Manchester City.
You know, I was just going to comment that, like, hey, like, oh, we got all these trophies, but look at his success in those tournaments so far. You barely made it past Coventry City last season if it wasn't for, you know, what, they went to penalties?
Yeah, down to penalties, yeah.
And then now look at where your domestic season is and look at your European campaign, how that's going. Hey, it's one game, granted, but you shouldn't have drawn to that game, you know? Look at us. Like, I'm not trying to make us look great, you know, because we are. But we went down 10 men in the Europa League in our first game, our opener. And we still came back and we won our game 3-0. You have a full squad and you still draw against a team called 12. And it's your continuous form.
But it's just another excuse. You know, it's an excuse. Oh, they're my old team. Forget your old team. You're a Manchester United coach now. You have to win. There's always an excuse for everything. Quit it with excuses and find the solution. And the thing is, he can't find the solution. He's just going to keep throwing money at it and you're going to get nothing out of it.
So are we Ten Hag in?
Yeah.
As a fan, yes, because this is looking good for us.
I think he's just starting to shape this team. I think it's heading in the right direction finally.
Yeah.
It could have been 6-0, but you know, masterclass.
Good results. Everyone's just playing. Everyone's happy out there playing, you know, and yeah.
I've never seen Rashford run that fast before under any other manager.
I've never seen someone jog so fast.
All right, and then the last game.
Whoa.
Wait, what happened?
No.
Oh, you have your say? Oh, sorry,
you know, this has been going on all week.
Tell us about how you got a free red, basically.
Everyone wants to talk about how bad Man United are. But guess what? We did. We went there and we did our part too. You know what? We've been 4 wins straight. We're building confidence. Brandon Magic Johnson's out there scoring every single game.
Every tap in.
Van der Ven running 100 miles per hour.
That was impressive. But it's less impressive when you realize who they're up against. But it was impressive.
They're a professional team in the Premier League. It doesn't matter, right? We're all professionals, and he did it against a professional team. I think we don't get enough credit for this game either. I feel like we're kind of when Liverpool beat Man United, nobody was like, "Oh, United's so bad." It was more like, "Oh, Liverpool, you know, they Slot's back, you know, or not back, but he's got this team rolling." And I think we deserve a little bit more credit too, because what we did was pretty impressive.
It looked like a Tottenham home game.
It did. It kind of sometimes I felt like it was because from sitting, you know, watching the TV.
And the Tottenham fans were much louder.
Yeah, I'm sure they were trying to leave. They were leaving.
But that just shows you how it is.
I've said it so many times before this season where I don't want to overly celebrate this victory because yes, you know, at the end of the day, Man United is not in a good spot right now. So it's not like we beat a top team performing like a top team, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to over celebrate, but I'm feeling good because we were having these consistent performances so far in different leagues and in the Premier League. So I'm glad we finally kind of got our shit together and we're going in the good direction. So I just hope we keep going. And Mikey Moore, just watch out for him. I think he's a 17-year-old that's going to be having a lot more game time. And I think he's going to be not a difference maker, but
he can be the next Dele Alli.
No. Well, prime Dele Alli.
I mean, not now.
Yeah.
Problem Dele Alli, but you know, as a
I think
player,
so.
You think he can be that young impact player?
And then Kulu in the middle. Oh man, I'm feeling confident moving forward. I really do. I'm feeling more confident than I have this season. So yeah, ready to win the league. Let's win the league.
Yeah, and then Bournemouth 3-1 Southampton. Southampton's still slow to get to register a win. And then they go up against Arsenal this coming weekend. Hopefully, no surprises there.
I feel like Southampton might make history as being the fastest team to get relegated, maybe, if this keeps it up.
No way. You think so?
I don't
Who
know.
was it last year?
Have they
Sheffield?
drawn? Yeah, Sheffield have had the worst record.
And what they're doing to my boy Ramsdale. Jeez, these defensive. Oh my God. I feel for him because he wants to be there.
He wants to be at Southampton.
Yeah, he's a Southampton supporter.
Yeah, he showed up as, I think, like Hagrid undercover to support Southampton.
Yeah, for the promotion game.
Got one draw, 5 losses. But the Wolves are down there with them too. Who knows?
I feel like our relegations are off now.
I thought the Wolves were doing a lot better. I think the Wolves are turning around, but
I believe so
I don't know
too.
about Southampton.
Southampton's a mess, and we'll see what happens with Ipswich. And then the third team, we'll see who joins them, but still plenty of time.
All right, so should we dive into the mini league?
Yeah, because you're in first place. Of course you want to go.
Of course. So we started the mini league. I was in first place with 11 points. Randy in second with 5. Alan with 3. Alan's predictions for this weekend was that Tottenham would win 3-1 against Manchester United. Highlight game.
You let me down, United.
I know.
God, I hate you.
Well, they gave you the free red card. It was that or the goal.
Oh God.
So you do get 2 points though, because it's the highlight game. You guessed the right winner. You get 2 points, so you'll move up to 5 points. My predictions was that Arsenal would win over Leicester 3-0, but obviously squeaky bump time. But we did get the win, and then I did predict Tottenham to come out on top as well. So I do get 2 points as well, moving up to 13 points.
Ooh.
And then Randy's predictions that Liverpool would beat Wolves. Didn't get the score. Did get
It was
the winning team.
for that had, but Wolves
And
scored
then
one.
you said that Manchester United would beat Tottenham. What happened, Randy?
Yeah. Clip it.
Clip it.
Yeah, clip it. All right, clip it all you want.
He's like, oh, Ten Hag this, Ten Hag that. Manchester United will win.
I'm saving it for when Chelsea do one on Liverpool.
All right, save it. Hopefully,
Well, what's the score he predicted for the Tottenham game?
He said Man United 2, Tottenham 1.
Yeah, 2-1.
Wow.
Like I said, you never know which Manchester United you're gonna get.
-2 points.
-2 points. Good luck.
So if Chelsea beats Liverpool, we get him a Caicedo jersey?
Please do. Why not? Give me the away one though.
Nah, we'll get your Crystal Palace one. I know you like that one.
Oh no. That's you're the one who remember. I don't know if you guys know this. Pat got a season ticket for Crystal Palace. And he's an Arsenal fan. All right.
Hey.
Think about that.
Not a loyal one.
Yes,
That's
not a
a
loyal one. Thank you.
That's a long story.
You should be quiet, Crystal Palace.
It's a long story. I'll explain. If you guys want to know, comment. I'll explain myself.
He's a
Crystal
backstabber.
Palace
I am an
Backstabber.
Arsenal member. I just
And aren't you a member of another team too?
actually no. Actually, wait, yeah, Brentford.
And he has gone shopping at the Tottenham Stadium. So
Wow, you're gonna do me like that, huh?
Yeah, why not?
I just wanted to see how small it was.
Okay.
All right, so let's move into next weekend's games. We're starting off Saturday, bright and early, 7:30 a.m. Crystal Palace at home, ready to get their first 3 points against Liverpool.
Good luck.
Do you guys want to do predictions right at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do predictions.
Wait. Ooh, what's the highlight game of this week?
So I saw one Man U Villa for me.
I could sort of see maybe Brighton and Spurs if we don't go with Villa and Man U. I mean, just because Man U is the name, but they're not playing like Manchester United.
Yeah, that's true. But that could be their coming out game. What about?
I think United, because if they lose another game,
Yeah, they might come out to play. They might be under so much pressure.
Yeah, especially because Bruno doesn't have that 3-game suspension anymore.
Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno. No.
All right, so we in agreement? Aston Villa and Man U?
Yeah, let's do Villa United.
Yeah, that's my vote.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's start from the top. All right, so Crystal Palace 7:30 a.m. at home against Liverpool.
Can you say that again? Started from the top? That's what I thought. Yes, top of the table.
Oh wow, you set me up for that one. Clip
course.
it.
You gotta
Alan,
take
clip it.
advantage.
Yeah,
clip
clip
it.
it.
Clip it.
Clip it.
Clip it.
And come December when you can't even show up to any more shows. Tired of being beaten
Don't
up.
ruin it. I gotta live in the moment. All right.
What do you want for Christmas? 1 win, 3 points.
All right, let's go. Crystal Palace, a secondary team. What's the score, Randy? Crystal Palace 3, Liverpool what?
Sorry, but I believe Crystal Palace, even though they're home, they're going to be winless. For me, I say 3-0, but I feel like it could be 2-0. 2-0 Liverpool.
2-0.
Yes.
Writing it down as a hat trick, but no, I don't know. I could see. I think they'll win too.
I can see a 1-1.
Yeah.
I'm going 1-1.
Okay, they're under pressure too. Clip it.
Who's under Liverpool or Crystal?
You. Was talking about you.
I think Liverpool are gonna take this. Probably like a 2-1. 2-1. I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna go 1-1.
Okay. All right. So now moving on to Arsenal at home, 10 a.m. against Southampton. Yet to get their first win. I'm gonna say this is gonna be another sketchy one, but I'm gonna say Arsenal just beat PSG, but we're gonna have to rotate. I'm going to say 2-0. Arsenal 2-0.
Yeah, I believe you might give up a weaker Arsenal side.
Yeah, I could see it. What did you say, Randy? 2-0 with Liverpool?
Yeah, 2-0 Liverpool.
I'm going to go 2-0 too.
I feel like, they're going to rest some players, especially with having such a thin squad. I think they'll take this opportunity to rest some players, but I still think it'll be 2-0 victory for the poo-poo heads.
Okay. 2-0, 2-0. I like it. I'll get you guys a jersey.
Yeah.
Oof.
I like attacking football.
Give me the party one so I can at least party.
All right, Man City, Fulham at 10 a.m. Man City, are they going to basically rip them apart, or is Fulham going to hold up?
I think Fulham's going to do their part. I think they'll hold them up. I think it might be a 2-1 Man City taking it, but I think I don't think it's an easy game for Man City. I don't think Fulham's going to be a pushover.
I mean, they're a weaker squad now without Rodri, so I believe I could see it the same. I feel like Fulham maybe can score a goal, but I don't think it's going to be total domination from Man City.
Fulham's got a little flame on them.
Yeah. Does Haaland score in this game? He didn't in the last one.
No.
Who?
Haaland.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I can probably see him doing a 2 goal.
Jimenez, though, with a third in a row.
Yeah.
Raul Jimenez, I think he'll score one.
Okay. So what do you say, 2-1? City 2-1?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I think me too.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 3-1. City 3-1.
That's what I was thinking.
Let's jinx it. Let's jinx it.
3-1. I think Haaland will score 2. Maybe Kevin De
Arsenal's
Bruyne.
going to do so great. Oh, man. Everyone's going to stay healthy. Every single Arsenal player is going to be healthy.
Stop. I mean, you did say Tottenham was going to be second, and they're
getting there.
Yeah, they're 12th. We just had an extra number there. All right, Newcastle Everton. This one should be a good one. I think it'll be fun. Kind of all over the place.
This was one of my options for the highlight game. I don't know why, but I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
And
there's just going to be a lot of fight there. I see at least one red card.
Yeah. I think Everton take it.
There's going to be so many crazy fouls. Arsenal's going to get some red cards.
I believe
they're
even if
going to be playing
Everton
10.
win,
They're going to be playing 10 in the box. Hey, what are you doing? The game's over. Oh, we're just
you
chilling.
get 10 in the box and you get 10 points deduction for Everton.
All right, highlight game. Aston Villa, Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Time against Manchester United, the struggling Manchester United. Aston Villa coming out with a draw in this past game. They're going to want to get a whole 3 points here. Manchester United obviously under a lot of pressure. Ten Hag, most cups right behind Manchester City. Who wants to start?
I'll go for it.
Okay, jinx it.
So I think, what'd you say?
Jinx it.
Oh man, United's going to come out here ready to play with a game plan. Ten Hag is going to come out here with his, clear-headed, and he's going to do great. It's going to be a sunny day. Yeah, right. I think Aston Villa is going to take this one. I think it's going to be a 2-1, but I think it's a 2-1. But Aston Villa is going to hold a 2-score lead for the most of the game, and City might get a garbage time goal at the end. I don't think they fix their problems in 1 week. They're going to struggle in Europa against Porto And I think that's going to carry over, just make things worse for them come Sunday.
Basically, you nailed what I was going to say. I believe Aston Villa will be up 2, and then Man U will be able to get a goal just to make it interesting, but it'll be a little too late. Aston Villa with the win.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Villa as well. I'm going to go 3-1 to Villa. I think Man U might get one, but I think Villa's going to be... I think Ollie Watkins and John Duran score in this one, and Onana.
Onana. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Onana. He's been a little quiet.
Yeah, because all the spotlight's on Duran and Ollie Watkins.
All right, so Alan, you said 2-1.
Yeah.
Randy
2-1.
said what?
The same, 2-1.
2-1. I'm going to be the odd man out. I'm going to say 3-1.
You think the internet's going to explode if Man U does lose?
I just think it's going to be a lot more of the same.
If they lose 3-1, it's going to be mayhem, I think.
I think we have to stand with our United brothers.
Yeah.
And just
United we stand.
spread that Ten Hag hashtag.
Yeah.
Tell them it's going to get better. It's going to get better.
It's not even that bad. It's not even that bad. I've
You
seen
can
worse.
do worse. Yeah.
Enjoy the ride. Trust the process.
Just keep reminding them you won the second most trophies out of behind Manchester City. Just keep reminding them.
You guys have so many trophies. Yeah. You guys are so lucky.
All right. Now that we jinxed it enough, let's jinx one more. Alan, what you got? Brighton at home, 11:30 a.m. on Sunday.
Wee! Against the world's greatest team?
I know it's against Spurs.
The world's greatest team.
Brighton?
I think, we got Europa on Thursday. We're going to go do our thing.
We're in Karakara back.
Somewhere in Budapest. I think we'll take this one home. I think we're going to have another convincing win. I could see this being like a 4-2 game.
Brighton 4-2. Wow.
But I think
Don't let them change your mind.
no. I mean, they just Chelsea kind of did a number on them. I think the manager's looking to make some changes. So I'll do it 3-1. 3-1 Tottenham taking it home.
3-1. All right.
Chelsea, Nottingham Forest.
I think Chelsea come out on top of this one again. Nottingham Forest just lost their first game. Chelsea's firing on all cylinders. Cole Palmer with a double, I think. 2-0.
And Mudryk with the goal.
Mudryk with the water cups coming out, refilling all of them.
I can see that. Or 2-1. I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that they're
Clicking?
they're doing this good.
I know, because they're going to take your spot.
First?
Okay.
Hey, we're steamrolling. Don't worry about us. Before you know it, we're gonna be ahead of you guys.
ahead of us on the way down to the championship. All right. So that's it. Got some good games coming up, and then after that we'll be followed up by a international break. So make sure to watch all of these games, take it all in. I hate when they put so many games at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I hate it. I think NBC or Peacock does do this thing where like anytime a team scores, they'll switch like the feed to whatever game, but they'll feature one main game, but they'll show you the other goals as they happen live. But come on, man, I don't live in a Buffalo Wild Wings. Like I only have one TV.
Right.
God.
Worse is here. It's like your 7:30 game. That's 5:30 here.
Oh yeah, I
Jeez.
forgot.
It's awful. Well, the good thing is you watch your games and then you have your day. ahead of you.
Your day to cry.
But
That's true.
if you lose,
Yeah.
then you got the whole day ahead of you.
It just ruins your day. Yeah.
Exactly. But all right, and that's an episode. Thank you for tuning in. Tune in next week where we'll go over game week 7, right?
Yes.
Game week 7. Hopefully, we'll all be celebrating a Spurs victory. Of course, we will. And the downfall of Liverpool and Arsenal. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Hit that like button. Rivals on the pitch. Leave us some comments, some engagement. We'll appreciate it. Keep up with the mini league. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
When your legs don't work like they used to before.